Let's talk about a tried and true way to break habitual sin. Hey, I'm Father Mark Mary with Franciscan Friars of the Renewal, and this is Ascension Presents. A lot of folks struggle with habitual sin. It's committing the same sin over and over again, right? I'm going to offer a tried and true way of addressing this, but with the recognition of this reality is that each of us and what is causing us to sin and the sins we're struggling with, etc., like have different causes and different roots and different triggers and different whys, and they come from different wounds. And so what might be a medicine for one may not be a medicine for everyone. But what I do believe is that a tried and true way to break like a habitual sin, to break this type of habit, is to begin by breaking the routines, like a restructuring, reordering of the context of the setting of the schedule. It was last year that we had a psychologist come and talk to us. And she works with people who are trying to sort of grow in the spiritual life and trying to sort of oftentimes break habits. And she had one sort of client who was struggling with like habitual sin of pornography and masturbation. And she talked to this person more and more and found out more and more about like some of the spaces where they might struggle more than others, right? It's what might be an occasion of sin or kind of an environment of sin. And one of the things that she just recommended that this young man do was to reorganize his room. And there's a little bit more to it. There's some way in which like what was going on kind of was connected to some other spaces and it kind of maybe led to some anxiety. But all he did is like, you know, his room was on the northeast corner and he moved it to the southwest corner, and you know, the dresser was here and he moved it here. That's what he did. Like he just rearranged the furniture in his room. And almost immediately, like in that space where he had been struggling on a daily basis, like he like basically didn't struggle at all. I'm sure there was some sort of like ongoing like healing, but almost like that, just by changing the routine, the context, the behavior changed as well. And I've heard other people speak of it in the recovery space, perhaps maybe struggling with like drinking or this or that. It's like every day you come home from work and you know, you're just getting ready to cook, and that's the moment you sort of have your first drink, which leads down the road of drinking too much, etc. What can you do instead? Like, okay, instead of like going straight home, go to the church, do this, do that, change where you have things, get things out of the house. Some of these like environmental realities or reminders are connected with certain behaviors. Step one, like what I think is pretty easy. It's like go into your room and like reorganize it, move stuff around, put your bed in a different place, have it face a different direction, desk, move where you have your computer. It breaks the pattern. It changes the environment and it interrupts some of like the familiarity, which leads us to familiar actions, which we are trying to unfamiliarize ourselves with. So that's kind of the main one I want to focus on, are those who are struggling with like sexual sin, particularly pornography. Change the context, change the environment, move things around. Second though is this could be helpful. The barrier of entry is a little bit more of changing your routine. Okay, so if again you normally struggle with falling into lust at night, like what is your night routine? If your night routine is after dinner, you like go in your room and you open up your laptop and you throw on Netflix or you scroll on social media, and then, you know, 15, 20 minutes down the road, you end up in this place you don't want to be. How can we interrupt that? Instead of throwing on the social media, whatever, can we put on some music? Can we do some push-ups, some sit-ups? Can you kneel and pray at an altar in the corner? Can you open up a book and read? Just changing some of that stuff, right? We just need to interrupt and to sort of like break up the environment, the schedule, the whatever, which is part of this constellation, which leads us into this sin. I bet there's a lot of people with some testimonies about this and like what you've done to like interrupt like your evening routine or how you've kind of changed up things or whatever. Like maybe you can just go ahead and like give a little witness in the comment section to help kind of offer some encouragement and some brainstorming. There's a lot of history of this working well for a lot of people. It's not a silver bullet. It's not going to solve every problem everybody has, but I think there's enough wisdom and enough weight behind it that it's worth a shot. And with all these things, we just begin by like asking the Lord, hey Lord, I want to grow, I want to heal, and I'm wanting to change some things up. Help me actually have, you know, the grace to make the changes and to persevere in the changes in my environment, in my schedule. Everything starts with Him. All right, friends, look forward to seeing you again next week. Remember, we are pilgrims on this earth. Somos peregrinos, poco a poco, little by little. Vamos a llegar. We're going to make it. Bye.